What is up, YouTube? It is your boy, Big Cool, coming to you from Colossal Sports TV, and I am back with another video. In today's video, as y'all can see by the title, this is the breakdown prediction video of the upcoming big junior welterweight fight taking place this weekend between Josh Taylor and Viktor Postol, the former WBC junior welterweight champion. Before I get into the video, go ahead and smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and that post notification bell to get notified every time I upload content, and follow me on Instagram at Colossal_Sports TV. Alright, let's get into this video. Let's do the tail of the tape first. Josh Taylor, undefeated, 12-0 with 11 knockouts. He's a southpaw. He's 5 foot 10 inches tall. He has a 69.5-inch reach. Tremendous fighter. He can fight out of the orthodox stance as well. Now let's look at Viktor Postol, his opponent, who is 5'11", has a 73.5-inch reach advantage. He's an orthodox fighter, former champion. He's been in the ring with Hank Lundy, Terrence Crawford, Lucas Matisse, Cedric Aiden, beating all those guys except one, and that is the great Terrence Crawford. Now, when you look at this fight, of course, you got to take everything into consideration. Viktor Postol has the better resume, but Josh Taylor's is not one to sleep on as well. He's been in the ring with Winston Campos, who's a solid fighter. He knocked him out in the third round, just overwhelmed him. He also fought Miguel Vasquez, a former champion, and he broke him down and stopped him with a body shot. Josh Taylor is a terrific body puncher. You know what I'm saying? Offensively, he's very, very good. He goes to the body. He goes up top. Like I said, he can fight from his natural stance, which is southpaw, or he can switch it up and go to the orthodox. And he did that a lot against Ohare Davis in a fight that was built up and didn't really quite live up to the expectation, because as the fight progressed, Josh Taylor showed that it was a level or two gap between those two men, and he was able to break down Ohare Davis with the body shots. He's very accurate. He's very fast. He's as good as he is. He's hittable. You know, he's not the best defensively. You know what I'm saying? He has solid footwork. He can get a little cocky in there, drop his hands a little bit, but for the most part, he's a very disciplined fighter. He's a very focused fighter. I like the way he rips those shots around the guard, especially when he goes to the body. He throws with conviction when he goes down to the body, and he's definitely going to have to do that against Viktor Postol, who has a 4-inch reach advantage. Viktor Postol, if you go back to his fight with Lucas Matisse, was able to keep Matisse for the most part at the end of his jab. He was giving him foot movement, not nothing too flashy, but he would turn him. He would get Matisse out of position. Although he was hurt in that fight, he was able to, keep his composure and eventually, stop Matisse in what a lot of people felt was a major upset, or at least a big upset. He's going to have to use his range and his reach. He's going to have to try to keep the fight in the middle of the ring. He's going to have to establish his jab. He's underrated, too, when it comes to punching. I remember against Cedric Aiden, he pieced that motherfucker up. He knocked him out. I think it was with a left hook. For a big, tall guy, he goes to the body well. Also, especially in that fight, he has underrated hand speed. In his last fight, I can't even pronounce my man's name. I might just post a picture of the guy in a video so y'all can see who it is for sure. But he got dropped in that fight, but went on. He got up, went on to win a unanimous decision. I don't know if he's longer training with Freddie Roach, but Freddie Roach guided him to his first world title, and we seen what happened against Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford was able to dominate him, drop him a couple times in that fight, fighting off the back foot. Taking the fight to him. He just couldn't deal with that type of athlete and that type of boxer. And that's why I think Josh Taylor poses similar threats or similar challenges to him like Terrence Crawford does. I don't know if Taylor is as athletic as Crawford, but if he's not, it's not that far off. He's very elusive. He can move fluidly in there. Like I said, he can transition from southpaw to orthodox and vice versa, seamlessly. You know what I'm saying? He has power. He stopped all but one opponent. You know what I'm saying? And he's gradually stepped up his competition. And I think that he's ready to seize the moment, you know. But he has to be aware that just because Viktor Postol has been dropped a couple times, hasn't looked the same, you know, since that Lucas Matisse fight or since the Terrence Crawford fight, he's still very capable. You know, he's experienced. He has some physical advantages going into this fight. He has the experience advantage going into this fight, and he's been a champion. You know, but Josh Taylor doesn't know how to lose. He hasn't lost as a professional yet, and it's up to Viktor Postol to do that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that he's going to have success with the jab, throwing that left hook, throwing that sneaky right hand that he likes to throw. And he's going to have to disrupt the timing of Josh Taylor. You know, he's going to have to be aware and be able to have to defend out of both stances when he goes there. You know what I'm saying? Because he's preparing for a southpaw, Josh Taylor, but Josh Taylor could flip the whole script around and simply fight the whole fight or majority of the fight out of the orthodox stance, and will that play with the mind of Postol, who's been in there with southpaws and orthodox fighters, but he has been in there. Well, he has been in there with Terrence Crawford, a guy that can switch from both. So we have nightmares of Terrence Crawford once Josh Taylor started to switch from southpaw to orthodox. And you know what Terrence Crawford did. Terrence Crawford beat his ass. He dominated that fight. It was easy. And a lot of people going into that fight thought that, you know, Postol could very well beat, you know, Terrence Crawford. You know, a lot of people here even picked him to beat him. But we all see that once the fighters got in the ring, that height advantage, that reach advantage that Postol had didn't mean a damn thing. You know, he wasn't able to, get anything going with Terrence Crawford, who's able to box on his back foot. And if Taylor can do the same thing, you know, box going backwards and be able to still be effective countering and landing power shots, Postol stands little to no chance in this fight. Postol is only 34 years old. You can argue he's past his prime or he's heading to that point. He really hasn't taken a lot of wear and tear, but mentally, I want to know if he's still there. You know, he's starting to been getting dented a little bit. You know, he got hurt against Matisse, didn't get dropped, but then Terrence Crawford dropped him a couple times. Then he got dropped in his last fight, and he hasn't been as active since winning that title in 2015. He's fought 3 times in the last 3 years. You know what I'm saying? And that's not good enough. He was supposed to face Regis Prograis, but pulled out due to an injury. I think it was because, you know, Prograis just a monster, a guy that we all want to see Josh Taylor go against potentially in the WBSS World Boxing Super Series tournament. If he wins this fight, I expect him to be an entrant in that tournament. But with all that being said, man, I am going to go with Josh Taylor. I think Josh Taylor is a terrific fighter. One of my favorite up-and-coming fighters. I just love the way he approaches his fights. You know, he doesn't press too much. He lets the fight come to you. He breaks you down with those body shots. Has a solid jab. He has fast hands. You know, he's hittable, so that makes him exciting as well. He don't mind getting a little firefight. But, you know, he can be reeled back in and regain that focus. And I think that he's just too young. He's too athletic, too fast, too powerful, too youthful for Viktor Postol, who's seen better days. And I think that the similarity in styles with Terrence Crawford is going to give, Postol nightmares, and he's going to be going back to that night where he fought Terrence Crawford and kind of be stuck. But it could play a role. It could be the total opposite. It could be he learned from that, because at this point, Terrence Crawford is a much better fighter than Josh Taylor, who's still progressing, still, rounding out as a fighter. So Postol could have learned something from that fight and say, you know what, this is the perfect opportunity, because he took it. Obviously, it has title implications, and I believe like a mandatory, on the line, or maybe high ranking in one of these sanctioning bodies. So of course he wouldn't have taken the fight if he didn't feel that he can win. So maybe he feel like, you know what, I learned from that Terrence Crawford fight. I know how to deal with switch hitters. I'm gonna be better going against the talented but less experienced and polished Josh Taylor. And I think that could potentially play a role in this fight as well. But I just don't see it, man. I just think that mentally he's kind of out of there. I think that physically he's been touched up. He's been beaten soundly. And I think that Josh Taylor, who's fighting in front of his home crowd, will seize the moment, will be dominant. I think he's going to stop Postol in around 9 or 10 rounds. I think Postol gonna give him some fits early. You know, he's gonna have to get acclimated and adjust to that reach of, you know, Postol. But like I said, the height advantage is only a 1-inch height advantage in favor of Postol, who's 5'11", compared to Josh Taylor, who's 5'10". But I'm gonna go with a solid round. I'm gonna go with Josh Taylor via a clean KO, in the 9th round. And I think he moves on to do bigger and better things in his career. But if you like this video, man, do what I told you to do in the beginning. Drop y'all comments in the comment section below, giving me your thoughts and your breakdown, your prediction on what you're going to think is going to happen in this weekend's fight between Josh Taylor and Viktor Postol. Do you got Taylor winning? And if so, how? Or do you got Postol winning? And if so, how? Like I said, just let me know in the comment section down below. Shout out to everybody in the movement that is moving with us. Be sure to check out 3kingsboxing.com for your latest and greatest updated, unfiltered, and unbiased boxing news, reported the way it should be. Until next time I'm out, peace.